and welcome everyone to our new airport. Welcome. I don't know if I've been to an event recently where I saw so many smiles. I don't think you can walk in here without smiling. So to carry that on, I'd like to introduce some special guests. We're very happy to have our current commissioner, Jim Sims, with us today, and current commissioner Ellen Green, and also Lily Escajeda, current commissioner. But we're also very proud to have some past commissioners and mayor with us. So I'd like to first introduce Daniel Martinez, who was part of the airport board and was also part of the commission as these talks developed. I would also then like to introduce Madison Scott, who is here, and Commissioner Ron Boyd, who is here. And also, would you help me welcome Deborah McCart. You know, we started construction and renovation of Rick Husband International Airport in March of 2009. After a little more than 2 years, we're proud and excited to share with you the success of completion of this terminal addition. Some features of the project are this new centralized meet and greet lobby. We have a much improved baggage screening area designed to take some of the dread out of that part of traveling when you're checking in. We have cut the total walking distance for passengers by 2/3 of the total distance that it was before. You'll see an enhanced concession location in both the secure side of the airport and in the open side of the terminal. The fully automated baggage screening system will really be realized when it's moved from the lobby and disappears into the basement, which will happen very soon. And also, I might add that the old concourse will be deconstructed. It'll be taken down pretty quick. So there is a little more progress to be seen out here to sort of clean things up. But you'll have 7 new gates and 6 state-of-the-art glassed-in passenger boarding bridges that only one other airport in the entire country can brag about. We'll have bright open areas to view planes landing and taking off. And I know from my youth that was a real highlight of going to the airport. Walking through here today, you feel the Panhandle heritage from the area ranches, cattle brands etched on the glass of those walkways. We combine that 100-year-old regional history with a tribute to our fallen hero who was tragically lost, astronaut Rick Husband. Commercial transportation? Yeah, but it's much more than that. You don't have to be a local cattle rancher or a proud family member of a homegrown astronaut to feel the emotion in these walls. We all partake in life's main events many times in our lives, initiating that human connection and human touch within these airport walls. We make emotional connections as a thread of life passes through this space. How many family reunions have occurred and been celebrated here? How many grandparents meeting their grandchildren for the first time here? How many soldiers sent off to defend our nation? How many times the family greeted them as returning warriors here? How many wedding guests have arrived here? How many funeral guests have arrived here? How many tired businessmen returning with a big order in hand, anxious to tell their spouse and their boss about their success? There's a bit of our souls in these walls. That thread of life is woven to the anticipation of flight, whether it be the joy of a first flight that a youngster has, or a seasoned traveler who still enjoys the thrill of flight. Even for those fending off the fear of flight, we're standing in an emotional hub, not simply a transportation hub. Our city has provided a venue to get the most out of this thread of our lives. Whether we come here seeking an environment of business or pleasure, we will be proud to welcome others to our city through our new airport, and proud to provide all the citizens of our region a place to welcome, to feel welcome to our home, Amarillo. I want to ask the other commissioners if they would come up and make a comment. Lilia, would you begin?
I always have to follow a call person. Thank you all very much for being here. I am extremely proud to be part of this event. And I want to thank the previous mayor and commissioners who had the foresight to go forward with this project. We are the envy of many cities because it doesn't take long to get from our airport to town. 15 minutes. I tell people that and they can't believe that. So we're sitting in a very good place, and most of all I want to thank all the staff here at the airport who make it work for us. And although everything may not be smooth sailing right off the bat, if there's any glitches, I can promise you that you have dedicated people working at this airport. And for all the people involved in building, planning, everything else, thank you guys. It's top notch. And again, thank you for allowing us to be here today.
I'm so amazed and happy that we combined Rick Husband with these brands. When I work at KACD, I documented Rick's first flight, and I spent about 3 weeks with him training in NASA. And I remember him saying to me, it doesn't matter what I accomplish here at NASA, it matters to me what my friends and my family think of me, and if they think I'm a good guy. And I think that we know, as his friends and family, that he was a good guy. And so I'm so proud to have this statue here. And it just so happens I spent Friday documenting the life of Colonel Goodnight, Charles Goodnight, and I spent Friday with the working cowboys at JA, and those men worked hard. And so it's so exciting to have all the brands up there and remember our heritage as well. I would like to say in 1971, when this airport opened, I was 12 years old and I was on the first flight out of the airport. And so it's so exciting for me to be here, and my own son is flying in at 4 o'clock, but I'm told that he won't get to come in first. It's going to be the night flight that comes in first tonight here at this new airport. So guard dismissed about a few hours.
No difference in age here. The first flight I ever took, we left from English Field. I swear. And Deborah, it was good to know we're going to get to go in and forward. Anyway, what a great day. And to see all these faces and know, a lot of you, and know that many of you out there that your fingerprints are all over this project. And I want to say thank you. And all I did was stand back and say yes on the money, knowing that we needed this facility. But there's a lot of you out there that have sweated it and worked hard on it, and that is much appreciated, because this is a good day and a big day for Amarillo. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see all of you here. Let's enjoy this airport.
Thank you, Commissioners. We also want to recognize representatives from Mac Thornberry's office. I think Bill Harris is here, and also Louis Britt is here. So we want to say thanks to them and thanks to Mac for all his support with this. Let's go ahead and move to the past commissioners. I'd like to ask Madison Scott to come up if you would.
I'm real proud of this. I'm proud of all the airport staff, all the city employees. They've done a great job on this. About 5 or 6 years ago, this was brought up that we were going to start working on this airport. And this has been a little bit controversial, where people say, why do we need to do this to update this airport? And I said, well, I'm tired of leaving my underwear out on the counter when I'm going through the airport terminal. That was one reason. The other reason was that you know, it was talked about that the city had been saving money for about 8 or 9 or 10 years to start the project, and I think the city put about $25 million, and then we found out that the federal government was going to pay 90% of the cost, so everybody kind of jumped up for that and said, this is worthwhile to do. And then we also found out if we didn't do it, Lubbock was going to get the money, and we weren't going to go for that, so we decided to do this. Anyhow, we're not, anyhow, we're real happy that this was done. I think it looks great. I fly a lot, so this is wonderful too. And so, anyhow, thank y'all.
Past Commissioner Ron Boyd.
Number one, I didn't know Madison Flight let me wear underwear. It was real exciting that this project got done without any local tax dollars being spent, that we used federal money, passenger boarding money. It was paid for by the people who use it. And that's really important, that we don't spend any local dollars. And this was not part of the stimulus project or shovel ready. We did this, started this way before that. So it's really exciting to see it come together and bring Amarillo to the 21st century. I travel a lot and go to a lot of different airports, and I must say this by far beats anything that I've been to. And it's going to be good for the community. It presents a first image for Amarillo, for people coming to town thinking about moving here or bringing their businesses here. And so for this to be first class, that was the important thing. And I think everybody involved did a first class job of bringing us a great airport. So I'm excited.
When I got this job, I said it would be a hard act to follow the next speaker, and that's proven true. Someone that had the vision to push for this airport, somebody that had the vision to put all this together. And I would like you to welcome with me Mayor Deborah McCarthy.
This is wonderful for me to be here today and see so many folks that have come to welcome this new airport to Amarillo. I haven't seen all of this. I haven't seen the stars. The last time I was here, I was walking through and one of those panels was completely broken. And I guess it's easy to replace, but there's so many things that I haven't seen, so I'm looking forward to the tour. Media, thank you all so much for being here. Y'all are always so good to help us get the word out about what's happening in Amarillo. And Paul, I don't know if you're recognizing the current board members that are on the airport board. You are? Oh, somebody is. Okay, somebody's taking charge of that. Great. Well, I just want to say this is awesome. This is wonderful. And I know I'm taking over. Give me the notes. Man, it feels good. Thanks everyone for coming, everyone from the chamber all over Amarillo. We can catch the flight to Dallas if we want to on American. I was just looking which is the next one out, so Ellen, we can hop on. And do y'all remember when we used to catch the plane and we used to have to stand at the end of the runway and rev the engines? And we all used to dress up and wear all kinds of really great things. And yeah, times have changed, but this is beautiful. Garrett, congratulations. And thank you.
Are there any other elected officials that we happen to have overlooked as this crowd grew and grew and grew? Okay. Well, then it's my honor to introduce to you the Director of Aviation for the City of Amarillo. This gentleman will include the others that have worked on this and has intimate details about everything that's happened here in the last couple of years. Would you help me welcome Patrick Rhodes?
I'm not ready to admit to everything I know about this building just yet, but we may get that report too long. I want to acknowledge and introduce three people from the city staff: Jared Atkinson, the city manager. I think Jared's been involved in this almost since day one, and certainly in the over 3 years that I've been here. It's been a pleasure to work with and been instrumental in keeping this thing going. Also, Vicki Covey, assistant city manager, saw her somewhere in the crowd, as well as Dean Frigo. Vicki's in the back. Dean, where are you?
Frigo's right here.
Hey, Dean. Airport board members, the chairman of the board president is Dr. Tom Nichols, and he's going to come up and say a few words. Here, sir. I'll turn it over to Dr. Nichols, and when he's done with his remarks, I'll introduce the rest of the board to you.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Nichols, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the Amarillo Airport Advisory Board. Now, there is some risk in presuming to speak for my colleagues on this board, for you in the audience who are acquainted with these men and women know that they are bright, successful, independent, and unlikely to follow the party line. However, regarding what we have before us today, I feel the airport board does speak with a remarkable unanimity. And may I add that I want to include all of the past airport board members who worked so hard on this terminal project, as well as the current members. So, how do we feel about this? We feel so pleased with and proud of the outcome of this project. It is visually stunning, and it's designed to be operationally efficient. And it's our feeling that it will perform as expected. We think that even within the confines of what the airport has to do with airline travelers, visitors to and from our fair city will be able to come and go as pleasantly as possible. Secondly, the board feels privileged to have been able to contribute in any way, shape, or form to the planning and the completion of this elegant edifice. Therefore, I wish to thank all of the Amarillo Airport board members, past and present, for having given your time, your effort, your expertise, and enthusiasm to this project. Your involvement really made a difference, and it shows. And to everyone else involved in this terminal addition, the Amarillo Airport Board says, thank you for a job well done, and look at what we've got.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nichols. Other members of the airport board, and I don't know that I've seen everyone here this afternoon, but the vice chairman is Dale Williams, Michael Cruz, Bob Dempsey, Bob Gamble, right here in the center, Joanna Hillman, right next to Bob, Jim Mitchell, right here, Lawrence Walker, Charles Kruger, I can't find him, and John Whitaker. John's in the back by the wall there. It's been a pleasure to work with all these folks, and they've pretty much given the staff free rein to do the things that we need to do within the limits of the rules that we operate under, and it's been a pleasure working with them. A few other introductions, and then I'll get into some remarks, and we'll do the ribbon cutting and go through the building. The lead architect was Shiver Mayer Associates from here in Amarillo. Richard Costancio is the lead architect. Their partner in this project, as far as consulting engineers, was RS&H. Rodney Bishop is here from their Houston office. They were the aviation consultants on the project. And the other person that really needs all the thank yous that we also generate to be Heather Weigel. Heather's an employee of RS&H. She works as our project representative, and she's the one that really knows all the secrets. She's going to be moving on in about 45 days, and we've got 45 days to learn how to run this without asking Heather. The other person, Jerry Rohane, I saw Jerry's over towards the middle, towards the statue. Jerry's the president of Western Builders, and I may not have this number right, but I recall that there were at least 35 subs and vendors that were part of that team. And I don't think I need to spend any time talking about what a great job they did. You can look around and see that. And it'll be even more evident when you get to the back part of the building. The other people I want to introduce are the airport staff. And we're not it's not really possible to do a formal tour, so we're going to position staff members around the building, and they'll be able to answer your questions and tell you where you need to go. And hopefully our new signage is sufficient to tell you where you need to get to without someone having to tell you. If it isn't, we will have to work on that next week. Our admin assistant is Heidi Navarrete. Stephen Kiku is the deputy director. Eric Ozier is our facility supervisor. Tyler Hurst is one of our operations managers. The operations managers will get the ones that get to work the hours that Stephen and I don't want to work. Thomas Osterson is also an operations manager, and Greg Daniel is our police manager. We all have put a lot of effort into all this, and in probably 3 or 4 weeks, I'd say it's mostly fun. I'd say it was some fun over the last 2.5 years. There's been some comments about former commissioners and former board members. did a little bit of research, and I don't want anybody to take this as a negative thing. There's been a lot of people in leadership roles that have been involved in this project, but they didn't leave just because of this project. For example, the first official discussions that I could find in any kind of documentation and minutes was in 2005, which was about 6 years ago. Since that time, there are 3 people who have held the position of mayor. There have been 11 city commissioners, 20 airport board members, 3 city managers, and 3 directors of aviation. So a lot of people have come through those positions in the last 6 years. But the thing that I really want to point out, and I think is noteworthy to everyone that was involved, is that the original 10 goals and objectives that were established did not change. And all of those, by the end of November, when we really finish this project, all of those goals and objectives will have been accomplished. I see a lot of faces in the crowd of people who work with the airlines and work in other parts of the building, and I would be remiss without going over some of the things that not only those of us who work here, but our customers who came and flew out, rented cars, and used all the other services that are in the terminal building, as well as Western Builders. We did endure a lot of things and learned a lot of things during the process. For example, we learned that this whole building was shaking when they were breaking the beams and behind the building, getting ready to put the structural steel up. And there were numerous phone calls of, is this building supposed to be shaking? Wife said yes, hoping that was the right answer. We learned that dust and dirt would set off fire alarms periodically and not routinely. 2 years ago, I remember it was last part of September, early part of October, we had a meeting with airport staff and the consultants and Western, and we were trying to decide when we would take the chilling units out, and those are the machines that cool the building. And we decided the first week of November would be good because we worked well with the
Everybody pass Miller. 30 minutes to move in.
Squeeze in. You're going to have to squeeze in.
Richard, you're going to
not past Millie, yeah.
Nobody past Millie.
You're not going to be in the picture. Daniel? Daniel.
You guys move in the middle.
Squeeze in because nobody's going to be in the picture there. Yeah.
We're too wide. There you go.
All right.
All right, everybody ready? Right here, please.
Are you ready to cut?
You know,
We're going to have Mayor Card say a prayer.
all right, just real quickly.
We're going to have a prayer.
Some of them won't hear it, but that's okay. Okay, Father in heaven, we want to thank you for this day that brings us all together for this wonderful new airport, and bless all those people who come through its doors and protect them, Father, as they go their trips coming or going to Amarillo, Texas. We are so grateful for all the people who have worked on this wonderful facility, and we are so glad to see this go forward into the years to come, and we are so grateful for you and for all you've done for us, and for your blessing and for blessing this wonderful facility. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Right
On
here.
3.
Everybody right here.
1,